Here the 1 by 2, 1 2 by 7, this is a mixed fraction. This is the sum of the whole number 1 and the fraction 2 by 7. Again you can check some add these two numbers. When we add these two numbers, 1 plus 2 by 7, what do we get? 7 plus 2, that is 9 by 7. So mixed fraction is a sum of a whole number and a fraction. Or which type of fractions are converted into mixed fraction? So improper fraction. यहाँ पे 9 by 7, you can see 9 by 7 is a improper fractions. Improper fractions are converted into mixed fraction. आप यहाँ पे note कर लीजिए, note improper fractions are converted into mixed fractions. Like fraction. Now let us come to the next. Like fractions. What are the like fractions? Very important. It is used so many times when we study fraction. It is used so many times frequently. The fraction having the same denominator. The fractions having same denominator. Are called like fractions. Example: 9 by 7, 9 by 17 and 5 by 17. Both the fractions having same denominator 17. Both the fractions having same denominator 17 are like fractions. Now, unlike fraction, opposite to the like fraction. Unlike fractions. Unlike fractions having different denominators. Example: 1 by 7, 2 by 9, 3 by 8 are unlike fractions. Are unlike fractions. Now next is equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions. When we multiply the fraction numerator and denominator of the fraction by the same number, when we multiply numerator and denominator of a fraction by a same number, we get equivalent fraction. Equivalent fractions. For example, we have fraction 2 by 4. We multiply the fraction 2 by 4 by 3 in the numerator and denominator, or if we multiply the numerator and denominator of fraction 2 by 4 by 3, we get then a new fraction 6 by 12. Then 2 by 4 is or you can say 6 by 12 is a equivalent fraction of a 2 by 4. 6 by 12 is the equivalent fraction of a 2 by 4, or we can say 6 by 2, or we can say 2 by 4 and 6 by 12 are equivalent fractions. So these are the revision of a fraction. Now we'll come to the next. Decimals. What do you mean by decimal? So decimal is a special fraction. Special fraction. Decimal is a special fraction with denominator ten, hundred and thousand. For example, 2 by 10. This is a fraction with denominator 10. So in the decimal form we write it is equal to 0.2. 5 by 10, it is equal to 0.5. 12 by 10, 12 by 10 is 1.2. Now we'll see the more example. 2 by 100. 2 by 100 is equal to 0.02. Here you can see there are 2 zeros in the denominator. So when we convert them into decimal, after decimal we will have 2 decimal places. So when we write the decimal, we get 2 parts, or the decimal number having 2 parts. By 100 is equal to 0.12. So this is the decimal. The decimal is nothing, simply the fractions having the denominator 10, 100, 1000 is represented as a decimal, or it is written in the form of decimal. So decimal number having 2 parts. Suppose example, if I write decimal 0.2, so this is whole number part. Before decimal, the part of the number is called whole number part, and this is called decimal part. Decimal part. Or in this decimal, how many decimal places we have? In this decimal we have 1 decimal place. In this decimal we have 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. Decimal place is nothing, the number of digits after decimal. Number of digits after decimal is called decimal places. Here we have 2 parts, whole number part. Before the decimal, the part of the number before the decimal is called the decimal part, whole number part, and the part of the number after the decimal is called the decimal part. So need not to confuse with this vocabulary. Every subject, maths is the subject having the special vocabulary. So whenever we talk about the whole number part, that means the part which is written before the decimal. And whenever we talk about the decimal part, So the part of the number which is written after the decimal. If we talk about the number of decimal places, that means how many digits are there in a number after a decimal point. So this is the introduction of decimal. Introduction of a decimal. Introduction of a Now children, how do we represent the decimals on the number line? How do we represent decimals in our place value chart? The representation of decimal in place value chart. Representation of decimal on the place value chart. Yes children, we are very familiar with our place value chart. Ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakhs, 10 lakhs. So we are very well familiar with this place value chart. Now we are going to learn how to represent decimals on our place value chart. This is our ones, tens, 100. So this is our decimal point, and after the decimal we represent 1 by 10 and 1 by 100 and 1 by 1000. Sorry, we name these numbers special numbers: ones, tens, 100, tens. After decimal, first place is called the tens. THS, tens. Hundreds. Hundreds. Thousands. And in the numeric form we write it 1 by 10, tens, 1 by 100, hundreds, and 1 by 1000 is thousands. So this is the decimal representation of on a place value chart. Representation of a decimal on a place value chart. Now how do we name these numbers? Suppose we have number 5 by 10, which is equal to 0.5, or we call it 5 tenths. What is the name of this number? 5 tenths. 0.05. This number is 5 by 100, or we call it 500th. 5 by 1000, it is written as 0.005, and which is equal to the 5 thousandths. Yes, what is the suffix here? THS, 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 and we read it 5 tenths, 500ths, 5000ths. So this is the introduction of our decimal. I hope you have understood what is decimal. Decimal is nothing. This is a special fraction with the denominator 100, 1000, 10. So and so on. How do we represent the decimal on our place value chart? This is the decimal representation of a decimal number on place value chart. 1 by 10, 1 by 100, 1 by 1000, 1 tenths, hundreds and thousands. Now, what is the expanded form of the decimal? How do we read decimal? 39.17 or 39.17. If you read 39.17, this is wrong. So it is read as 39.17. So after decimal, each digit you have to read. That is 17, not 17. So this is how we have to read this number. Expanded form of decimal number. Expanded form of a decimal number, that is 23.15, can be written as 20 plus 3 plus, this is decimal part, or 1/10. 1/10 can be written as 1/10 plus 5/100th can be written as 5/100. This is the decimal expansion of a number 19.237, which is equal to the 10 plus 9 plus 2/10, 2/10, 3/100th and 7,000. So this is the decimal expansion of a number. And how do we compare the number? Comparison of a decimal number. Comparison of decimal number. Decimal number. How do we compare the decimal number? Suppose we have two decimal, 0.5 and 0.75. So to compare the number, first of all we'll look for the whole number part. If the whole number part is same, we'll go for the next place, that is tens place. Here you can see the tens place of the both the numbers. You can compare the tens place of the both the numbers. So in this number, the 0.075 is having the greater number at the tens place, or you can say the 7 is greater than 5. So 0.5 is less than 0.75. In this way we compare the number. Another example, you can see 0.15 and 0.18. Here you can see the whole number part is having both the number having same whole number part. Then we will go for the next number, both the numbers having same tens place. So we'll compare the next place, which is 100th place. So in this number, the first number having the 5 at the 100th place and the another number having 8 at the 100th place. You can see 5 and 8 here. Now, so on comparing directly, we can say the 1/5 is less than 0.18. Okay. So next lesson we will